Hey guys, Ben here with Oddly Armed, and today we have another disassembly video for you, that being of a Spanish CETME L, built by Marcolmar in this case. So let's go ahead, dig into it, and see how this rifle works. Alright, so we'll go ahead and start things off by popping out the magazine, and then the first step is going to be taking our stock off here. So this comes off just like any Heckler & Koch stock, so we have two non-captive pins in the back here. So we'll go ahead and pull those two pins out. Now conveniently, just like an HK, they do have two spots here in the stock for you to go ahead and put those pins in so you don't lose them. So that's a very nice feature. And then we'll go ahead and just pull the stock straight off the back here. Now checking out the stock, this is the reason the recoil is so nice on these rifles. It has a massive recoil spring, really soaks up a lot of the recoil, and actually has a stiffer spring in the back here just to soak up that little bit near the back. But our stock, nothing too crazy here, just polymer. And then there is no buffer in the back, unlike in HK 93 stock. Now coming back to our lower receiver here, the next step is going to be removing our trigger group, which is the biggest pain in disassembly on this rifle. So there's one more non-captive pin here at the front of the receiver. So go ahead and pull that out. And then you can go ahead and push back slightly on the fire control group, and that'll allow you to rotate or over rotate the safety here. So we need to flip this all around to the front there where the tension kind of drops off on it. And this is a part that's a lot of fun because we got to make sure it's all the way back, and then you should be able to wiggle your safety out of the lower receiver here. And it takes a little bit of just trying to find the right spot because it is fairly tight in there. So once we have the safety out, we can go ahead and set that aside, and your fire control unit will come straight out the bottom of the receiver. This is one of the new made parts from Marcolmar, so you can see it does have some machining marks on there, but it is pretty well made, all things considered. You can see our hammer in there and the fire control unit. There's nothing too crazy going on. We also have our ejector, which pops up here, so that's a lot like an HK roller lock gun, like an MP5. And that's basically all we have to do with the fire control unit. Now the next step is going to be pulling our bolt carrier group out of here. That's super simple. Just need to push back on the charging handle, which will unlock our bolt carrier, and we can go ahead and pull it out the rear. Now anyone who has owned a roller delayed blowback rifle in 308 or 5.56 knows that the biggest pain in the butt is going to be taking apart your bolt carrier group. So we do have our bolt head here. We need to go ahead and rotate it. So this part can be a little bit tight here, but you want to go ahead and rotate it, I guess, counterclockwise there until this little ledge here clears the bolt carrier, and then we can go ahead and pull that forward. This is our bolt head, so you can see it is almost identical to an HK style one. We do have our extractor spring there, and then the rollers on either side of the bolt head here. So nothing too crazy going on there. Then coming back to the bolt carrier, if we go ahead and rotate the locking piece until it finds the right spot here. So just keep rotating it until, there we go, finds the spot. We can pull it out the front along with our firing pin and our firing pin spring. So you can see those there, nothing too crazy going on with the firing pin. And then our locking piece, which should look, again, familiar to anyone used to HK roller delay blowbacks. And then the bolt carrier group is fully disassembled here. So you can see this is what stops the bolt from bouncing in full auto. So this is also what makes it kind of a pain to put back together. But here, pretty much all you can see is the stem in the back. This little channel is for the hammer to jump up and hit the firing pin in. But that's really all we need to do with the bolt carrier group. And the final and frankly least necessary step is removing our handguard. And it's fairly simple to do. All we gotta do is push out another captive pin. Again, we don't have another place to put this, so make sure you don't lose it. And then for the handguard, all you gotta do is press forward on it. This part gets a little bit annoying, trying to get it in the right position to kind of pop down here, because we wanna push down on the front, and eventually our handguard will pop off. So you can see this is the newly made Marcolmar handguard. These are very well made, and I really have no complaints about these whatsoever. And then underneath the handguard, there really isn't anything to see. We just have the barrel up here, and then we have our sling swivel, and then this little bit here is actually on the military rifles. a grenade launcher. So you can see it's got a little clip in there to put some tension on the inside of a rifle grenade, which goes over the bore. But again, no gas system, nothing really to see up here. All right, guys, and real quick, I want to give you a look inside of the stamped steel receiver just to see what we're dealing with. You can see it's pretty tight quarters in there, so you're not going to get a whole lot of room to get in and clean. To get to the roller recesses, you really have to go through the ejection port, which isn't ideal. There's not a lot of room in here. So this gun is one of the more difficult ones to maintain and to really clean well. So that's just something to keep in mind with this rifle. And this is Marcolmar CETME L fully disassembled. So thank you guys for checking out the video today. I'll have more stuff coming up here in the near future, so stay tuned for that. Please like, share, subscribe, and have a wonderful day.